Oh nah, y'all definitely bugging. Classes in session.
And I am Ebony Siditi, and you can find us both on Instagram. Oh, and we just launched last week when we launched our first episode,
Yes, yes.
our Instagram for our podcast. So we
If
would
you haven't,
love
if you haven't already
everybody.
followed the fan page, please do that. Stay in
Not the
tune.
fan
I
page.
mean, that's exactly what the family page. If you haven't followed the family page, the media page, please, get in tune because we drop it every Tuesday. Today was the only day we drop it on the Wednesdays because we wanted to wait for one more story to develop, and we want to be the latest media platform to release anything because you don't want too many updates. You want the exact information and how it is and the truth, right? So we trying to make sure that we get all the details to you guys in chronological order.
All right, so follow us at the After School Podcast, two underscores, all right? So once again, at the After School Podcast, two underscores. And if you want to follow us separate, you can follow me at The Real Siditi.
And at the Real Mark Prince on Instagram.
All right, so the first topic we got for you guys is Kelly Clarkson.
And this is also listen. We starting out hot. Drop some curveballs. We starting out hot. We dropped a lot of curveballs because I don't know how to tell you guys how stoked and happy I am because it's crazy. We were just here last week, and we about to play the clip in a second. We was just here last week recording how a lot of these situations we need to celebrate them. Starting with the Bill Cosby situation. Now we get update on the Chris Brown situation and Chris Cuomo. We're gonna get to that later on, but Kelly Clarkson, right or wrong segment, we're gonna go ahead and start with her because this is crazy. We started with a W. City Boys is up and the summer hasn't even started yet.
Really? The City Boys
The
is
City
up?
Boys is up.
Now. Now.
It's only spring.
Let's not get there. Not the City Boys is up. All right, anybody. So if you have any questions or, want to just write underneath the caption below, you'll see it. Comments. Just write, let us know if you want any topics to be told that you want to hear that
Yeah,
we might have not caught.
give us some ideas what you guys want to talk about and what you want to hear about.
Today we're gonna start with Kelly Clarkson. Now, her ex-husband, Brandon, she has to give him 1.3 million. And not including this is including the 45,600 in monthly child support. Oh,
Which I believe they both have shared custody.
yeah, but let's not forget about spousal support.
Right, right, right. But
Now, but you know what?
I'm laughing because I'm happy for us.
I'm
Men
not even happy.
and
You
women,
know
I have
why?
nothing
Because
against. Trust me, I love y'all. You
no, no,
guys are
no,
the
no.
salt of the earth.
This
Like I
just
love y'all.
happened to our favorite Mary J. Blige.
Oh
She
yeah,
had to pay
yeah,
her. Like,
yeah,
come on.
yeah.
At some point, the man is supposed to be the backbone, right? So why is the females out here getting all this work
But for
done?
years we've been But for
And
years we're not gonna do that. Don't try to
you just gonna
backdoor
come
us.
and try to take
For
it?
years though, we have been hit with lawsuit after lawsuit, child support after child support, marital spouse support after marital spouse support. Like
Okay, I
it's been.
understand
Look at
all
what
of
just
that.
happened to Dr. Dre.
Nah, see, Dr. Dre, on the
Like
other hand,
I don't think
actually,
we
you want to know the
understanding what's
crazy thing
going
about
on.
that? Is I was just watching the movie last night, and he left, what's her name? The one with the squeaky voice. I can't even remember her name. He left her to get married to this other girl, and you see what happened. Karma came around for him
Yeah,
real
I don't
quick.
know what's wrong with it. I think they need to see and realize that there's a pattern when it comes to that type of
Man,
life. No, no, I'm talking
no,
about women. Like
that type of man.
yeah,
And
that
as
type
a
of
female, she probably didn't have nothing when she started with him, though.
yeah, now that type of lifestyle comes with deception, and you got to learn how to decipher through a lot of people who clearly don't want you for who you are and just want you for the money. And kudos to Kelly Clarkson's ex. I'm gonna rightfully call him. That's exactly what he is.
I
Ex.
mean, we're not gonna call him what he is.
I mean, if you want to,
Brandon Blackstock.
yeah, if you want to,
That's his name, right?
at the end of the
That
day,
is over 20K a month.
$1.3 million.
Over 20K a month. Because I would be, especially if I put in all the work. Pregnant, still working. She has her own show, still working. She's making pots and pans now, working.
If you're calling off the marriage for whatever reason, and he's done nothing but been faithful and sacrificed a lot of his time, and
How do we know he was faithful?
the court is literally showing you that this is why he's getting the marital spouse support. The child support. If they didn't believe that he was
The same way we get up every day and go to damn work, he should have been doing the same thing. He could have been on set with her helping direct something.
For Brandon Blackstock, I'm gonna say it's right. Thank you for putting some points on the board for the men because
I'm not even entertaining him right now.
woman, I love you, but I gotta call a spade a spade. When we get a W, which is not many, we don't get many W's, but when we get a W, I'm gonna celebrate, and I'm not gonna.
Yeah, you can celebrate, but I'm not celebrating the nonsense. That's nonsense. But now, on to the next topic, since he thinks that's right. The next topic is Stevie J.
Stevie J needs to realize that it's time. There's a time and a place for everything.
Stevie J's too damn old.
Too damn grown.
Too old for the nonsense. To be doing this. And he
was just on an interview, a live interview on the Leah's Lemonade podcast, I believe, or maybe one of those shows. And homeboy was getting interviewed by
he was getting fellatio. Let's put it out there. He was getting fellatio
on the interview, and you can clearly see that that's what's going on if you look in the video right here.
He is the top one creep. He's a womanizer because first of all,
he's way too grown to
not
be
even a womanizer. I don't even care who. After seeing him on TV, after seeing what he did,
on Love and Hip Hop,
right? No, it started with Eve. After he did what he did with Eve, then you have when he came Jocelyn, Mimi, even Faith Evans out here looking crazy.
Out of all of his lineup, who do you think was the baddest?
Yo, I ain't gonna hold you, Jocelyn out here.
Jocelyn over Mimi?
Jocelyn's out here getting money.
No, we're not gonna discuss
Jocelyn's out here doing her thing.
I'm talking about looks and aesthetics.
Looks?
Who do you think was his best?
Okay, so Jocelyn does look manly in the face. We all get that. But now she's starting to come to and look a little bit more feminine and everything. But you can't.
And he took Faith he ended up getting with Faith, who's Biggie's ex.
Yes.
So.
But I mean, look at Faith.
You gonna put Jocelyn over Faith too?
Faith's kind of looking old out here now. She's looking kind of old. That she's aging, and it ain't aging.
Maybe by the third podcast episode, we can do like a top 5 baddie in entertainment.
But I'm like okay, but you know your entertainment is younger than mine.
No, I'm doing all ages, and I don't think Halle Berry is still at the top. Like
honestly, Halle Berry, she was pretty at one point. She still is pretty.
I'm putting Jennifer Lopez at the top. Y'all might call me crazy, but Jenny at the top. Jenny from the block.
All right, but next topic. Next week we got y'all with that one. But right now we gotta go to the next topic.
You're wrong for that. You need to
definitely grow up.
That was crazy. That was definitely.
He can't even get enough energy out of me. Right. I'm sorry.
And more good news, more great news. Celebration. We're gonna get some gunshots in there real quick. Some gunshots. Because we were just here last week and we're gonna play another clip in the back.
Our favorites, the Chromo Brothers now. So Chris took it upon himself to be like, you know what, CNN, y'all trying to play me, y'all trying to get me lawsuit time.
Yup. And CNN released an official message saying we're terminating Chris Cuomo effectively, immediately. Like how you gonna fire and terminate somebody's employment effective immediately based on allegations that aren't proven factual
but let's be honest, let's be real. They just thought the Chromo Brothers, they was trying to get them out the way. And that's what it was.
But we have to move from a narrative where we quickly just say, all right, you know what, we're going to show support to the women who are going through things and are victimized by alienating and terminating relationships, partnerships, and everything related to that man allegedly accused of convicting a crime. Just to show support, we're going to terminate everything immediately. That's not the right thing to do because it's just allegations. Nothing has been charges.
Okay, so now listen to this. If they both weren't brothers, if they weren't brothers, they were just friends and they knew each other. I don't even think it matters. Because it seemed like once they went after Andrew and they got him out of there, they went after Chris.
Well,
let's be honest.
I could say yes, but I could also say no because if you think about it, Don Lemon wasn't on there. Don Lemon wasn't on there trying to defend Andrew.
Right.
Chris was because that's.
But Chris said at one point,
had Don Lemon tried, but if they were right, and if Don Lemon was was on there trying to defend Andrew Cuomo and not, you know, demonize his character and become like the staple boy for, you know, what CNN's thoughts were, then maybe he would have been terminated too. But he was, but Don was minding his business. I think at the end of the day, Chris was definitely not trying to come after his brother off of allegations that he knows aren't true and are just inconvenient. Was looking at the chronological order of things of how it transpired from the George Floyd protesting, with Andrew Cuomo saying that I'm siding with the protesters, then to COVID, they're claiming that he was leading us in the wrong direction because of how many people died in nursing homes, as if COVID only affected nursing homes in just New York. Then on top of that, they're now saying that, the way he's been handling crimes in America, he's just allowing things to happen. In New York, he's just allowing things to happen.
You can't just allow stuff to
Yeah, it's
happen.
not
Like
none of these.
it's gotta happen
Right.
regardless if
And none of these
it can
things
be
are.
20 cops there. If something's gotta happen,
Yeah,
it's gotta happen.
None of these things are correct enough or even substantial enough for them to say, you know what, we're going to try to get him up out of office, because governors stay longer in office than presidents. And
That's the whole fact.
the way that they framed everything, like I said, we were in a better place than when we had Bloomberg as governor.
We
So
were in a
we would have been a
way
much better place. Now we have, I'm all for, black empowerment and all of that stuff, but I still think that Andrew was doing a much better job.
Then this guy now, what's his name? I don't even know his name. But let's all give a round of applause for Chris and Andrew, because those are our favorites. That's definitely our favorites.
Andrew is planning on making a return to the political scene, and Chris is currently filing a lawsuit against CNN for a total of $125 million in arbitration demand against CNN for demonizing his character and disparaging his character on live television without conviction and without charges that were proven and deemed true. So hopefully everything works out for them. And I'm going to say this is right in their
Definitely right.
and which brings us to the last Chris.
Our favorite
Chris Brown. Chris Breezy. Ooh. We're not gonna do it just like that. Drop some booze bombs, drop some gunshots, Chris Brown, another guy we was here saying hopefully they all follow after Bill Cosby's footsteps. But
last week, what did I say? I said last week, I said they're just coming around Chris because of the simple fact that he's about to drop another album.
Yeah.
Now she comes around, all this other nonsense. But the fact that you left message after message, text message, voice message, what is it, voice note,
text messages.
This wasn't gonna save that and keep it for his own evidence. I applaud Chris Brown for doing what he had to do.
Could you imagine?
Yo, you got the D.
Crazy. Could you imagine?
Yo,
had he not had any of those things?
They would be trying to. They would be. You see,
the lawyer dropped. Well, because they're probably still fishing for evidence. So he doesn't. If he has any text messages and any sort of details that can help him, he should do what Chris did. He should have did what Chris did. But Trey Songz is a different character and a different person. Yeah, but Trey Songz act differently. He does different things. Chris Brown is much more witty and much more.
Chris Brown learned.
Yeah. He's definitely much more cautious with the things that he released. But this, I'm glad he released it. I'm glad that the lawyer for the the lady that was accusing him for such crimes was dropped from the case. The lawyer refused to defend her, and I feel like right there off of that, the judge doesn't even want to pick up the case from that.
Honestly, I agree with you.
Thankfully, Chris had that information.
I'm not for nothing. I am so proud. I am proud of this black man. I am very proud of this black man. You handled it. You handled it very much professional, and it's nothing you can possibly do.
Understood the assignment. He did what he had to do. And I want to also thank Little Duval for speaking up. Little Duval has been speaking up lately and demanding that these media outlets like Hollywood Life, all these TMZs and all these other media outlets and platforms have been quick to report on the story that Chris Brown was accused of rape and all these other things and charged for these things. Well, not charged, but they need to release an official apology. And it's been what, 4 days? It's been 4 or 5 days. So hopefully that's in the works.
Was anybody that didn't have this melanin, they would have been writing a whole story like we apologize and the information came out wrong and we're just running a story and this. So therefore, I think he needs an official apology.
He definitely does. And this is, like I said, y'all need to stop playing with the legends in our culture. Chris Brown has been out since when? 2005?
Chris Brown has never missed. He's not a hitter. He's not a hit or miss artist.
2005. He has shifted the culture. He has made his presence known in the culture. I don't care what nobody has to say about his craft.
He's not a hit or miss artist. He's just a straight. He's a straight hit. Hit after hit after hit after hit after hit. You cannot take that away from him.
History that is haunting him no matter how many years has gone by. But
okay, but it's not even you know what it is? When they start so young in this music business, they are not.
They're not groomed the proper way.
They're not even groomed. They grow up so fast. They're expected to be a man at the age of 14 when they come out, and they're not ready to take that step in life.
Chris was young, man, when that happened. He was young. He was young. They expect, and I'm not excusing what he did.
But it's men and women.
But it's disgusting and it's degrading for them to constantly try to attack him on something that has happened 10 plus years ago, almost a whole decade.
He has trauma of not having a childhood like he should have had because he started so young. A lot and a lot of them go through that. Look at Bow Wow. He never had a childhood. I saw an interview he did years ago, and he's running from a mob full of females. Like this little, how old was he when he started? 12?
Yeah, he was very young. I think younger than that, if I'm not mistaken.
It's a lot, and it takes a toll on him. It definitely does. Mentally, it takes a toll on him. So therefore, I'm glad Chris is starting to grow, and he's developing more as an artist and as a man.
As a legend. Exactly. Because, I don't want to talk about the stale news of Kanye and the situation going on. I don't think Kanye is kind of throwing his legacy away per se, like how Pete Davidson indicated in that text that was released on the Shade Room recently. But I'm glad to see that Chris Brown is not going out like how R. Kelly did. And I think that was weighing in the balance. I think a lot of people are still trying to cancel the craft that, was associated with R. Kelly, separating the talent from the artist.
R. Kelly's music does not play on any type of platform. Nothing. They took it down off of Spotify, off of iTunes. They took it off of YouTube. They took him off of everything.
Right. The things that were factual and can be proven, that I understand, and I'm not going to each his own. No one can tell me I can't look up the artistry if I want to.
Kanye's gonna be put in that level of another Michael Jackson.
I'm gonna speak on Kanye, and I'm gonna say this boldly. At the end of the day, going back to the Chris Brown situation, yeah, Chris was right for what he did, and in the right or wrong segment, we're gonna end with that. Chris did what he needed to do. With this ending statement, though, this ending topic, and I'm gonna let you have your final say on it, and tell me if I'm right or wrong. Kanye, the way he is now, the way he operates, and the way his personality is portrayed throughout the years. If you ask me, that's how Tupac was and would be if he was still alive. I'm not saying the artist in itself. I'm saying Tupac was very forthcoming with things. You look at some of these interviews and the way they described how Tupac was. Even look at Tupac when he was doing an interview. He had a symphony of ideas like how Kanye says, and the way he wanted to express it and the things going on. That man was very forthcoming and very like, I'm knocking the doors down. Y'all gonna hear me when I speak.
Stop talking. I agree with what you're saying, but then I don't agree because you know why?
The media wasn't that. We didn't have Instagram. We didn't have Facebook like that back then, so they wouldn't have known how Tupac would have been. But the way Kanye was at the Grammys, I can see Tupac doing that.
But listen. This is what I'm going to say about that subject. Tupac was a gangster.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
He said that. He was very outspoken. Tupac he came out outspoken. He came out as a gangster. Right. Now, Kanye was the quiet guy with the backpack. Yeah, that never said nothing. Now listen, that never had any issues in the hood. Like he wasn't He was basically almost like a Travis Scott, quiet, don't got no issues, just trying to make it. Soon as he made it, he still was quiet. He still was moving his thing. He still was acting accordingly. Now, what he say? Soon as I get on, I'm gonna leave your ass for a white girl, right? Soon as he left for the white girl, that man went psycho. He lost it, and I believe maybe if he would have stayed with Amber Rose, he would have been a little bit more in control.
I mean, but if we
Because
think
not
about
for
it, I think
nothing, as I love all type of females, you know, I am a female,
do you really think that?
but a black female would have handled him differently than she handles
But we're
him.
still talking about females in the game like Amber Rose and the likes of Kim Kardashian that are finessers. They're
But
known to finesse people.
she would have handled him differently.
Yeah, because she doesn't have the backbone of the
Than
family system that are celebrities.
But that's any black female. Any black female would have handled him way different and would have called him out on his shit and would have told him about himself way before this even got out to media, him acting crazy, him being bipolar, all of this stuff. The reason why we know he's bipolar, he has all this extra stuff, why? Was because of Kim. Kim decided to say, you know what, my husband, you know, he did get diagnosed with bipolar and da da da. We don't need to hear all of that. You handle that inside your home.
No, I mean I feel like I see what you're saying, but I'm talking about the way Kanye when
Out here talking about 100 goons to SNL, like you're not a gangster. You're not a gangster. You're not about that life. Because at the end, it does. You gotta realize in this street world, I'm being serious. In this street world, at the end of the day, if you portray to be a gangster, that's how people are gonna treat you. You gotta realize that.
this man is a billionaire. Let's put that in perspective. This man is a billionaire. This man has literally came before he listen to what I'm saying. Before he became a billionaire.
So don't portray to be that way.
And that's fine. He doesn't have to be. 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 He can be the mob boss. He can be the mob boss that pays the gangsters to go do what he said. That's all he said. He said I could have 100 niggas show up to SNL.
Yeah.
He's a billionaire. And
But why pit hits if you don't want that to come back to you?
I mean, I feel like all right. I feel like this, right? And in closing, I feel like this, right? Before he came at anybody crazy the way he did to Pete Davidson, he came at corporations, um, $1 billion establishments such as the likes of Disney. But he came at them. Nike, he called all of them out. He called all of them out, and he still became a billionaire without them.
Sits in these rooms with people, and he still sits in these rooms with these people.
In comparison to Tupac, if Tupac was alive today, people would be calling Tupac crazy because of how Tupac would have been conducting himself. But I just think that Kanye is just as impactful and just as I would say, what's the word I'm looking for?
Nope,
what's the word I'm looking for?
Never allowed Tupac.
He's just at
nope. Cause you know what? Tupac's mother would have never allowed Tupac to act the same thing. He's just as impactful. Nope.
And nope. It takes us home. It takes us home.
Don't even matter which word you look for. Because it takes us home. It takes us home. This is not even. We're never gonna agree. Comparison. We're gonna agree to disagree at this because not for nothing. The way Tupac's mother was raising Tupac and the way she was alone, I highly doubt Tupac would run around the way that Kanye's running around right now. Like Kanye?
Did you see the tour when he dissed Biggie? Nothing was stopping that man. Let him have.
That's how.
No, rap was back, but you have to realize back then rap was lethal. It was disrespectful. Now we're getting sugar-coated rap. But back then, that was like the demeanor. Like everybody had that demeanor. I'm gonna come through and say what I want. I'm disrespectful. That's it. Everybody had that demeanor.
Everybody had that exactly. But that was their real life. That was literally how they act in real life. Kanye never acted like this in real life until he got to the money and started acting crazy. You got to realize Kanye's a billionaire and nobody gives a shit what he does because he has money. Now, somebody like Tupac, he was doing that before he had money and he's going to continue to do that. He did continue to do that. Kanye got money and started bugging out. You can never say that's a comparison.
I see what you're saying. However,
and you got.
Hopefully, at some point, someone else brings that comparison, and they can put the pieces together the way I was trying to put it together, so that maybe the masses can understand. Because I really feel like Kanye is our modern day Tupac.
I don't agree with that one.
But
I just think I don't agree with that one. I just think if Kanye didn't have money, Kanye wouldn't be acting like this. Tupac didn't have money, was acting like this. When he got money, he was steady acting like the way he was acting before.
The word I was looking, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. I didn't mean to cut you off. The word I was looking for was passionate. He is very outspoken and passionate about the things that he said, which is why his demeanor is the way it is. But it works for today's media though, right?
It's plenty of people outspoken and passionate, and that's because he wants the media. He loves being in the media.
The attention brings sales.
He wants that.
You think if
but
he was quiet,
if
not doing
Kanye,
anything, and did the
I'm still gonna say, if Kanye didn't have money, he would not be acting like this, and we wouldn't agree for him to act like this.
I agree with that. I just
You can't go from the quiet little backpack boy to now you're a billionaire. You want to make noise and scream like you was in the streets your whole life and ready to put hands and feet on people. You can't do that. If you didn't have this money, you would still be that quiet backpack boy from Chicago.
Maybe we can revisit this conversation, but for now, I'm gonna let you close out the show.
Okay. So guys, thanks for joining us. Okay.
Highly anticipated episode 2.
Us on season 1, episode 2 of the After School. Yes, definitely, because my DMs was buzzing. My text message DMs buzzing. So therefore, thank you for joining us for this season 1, episode 2 of the After School podcast.
I am next week Tuesday.
Yes, next week Tuesday we're gonna be back on track. You'll see in the video that we trying to set up. We trying to get a little different setup and a different feel of how we want things. So next week it might be something different. You never know.
So don't be alarmed when you see us, no longer doing the visuals in this episode. We're testing out 2 different means of recording. So
yeah, so
just enjoy the content.
Thanks for joining us, and I am Ebony.
Just enjoy the content.
Thanks for joining us, and I am Ebony Sadiddy. You can catch me at Real Sadiddy on Instagram, and to see this visual, you can go on YouTube to the After School Podcast, and you can go on our Instagram, After School Podcast 2_.
Make sure you hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Make sure you put your post notifications on, and get ready for episode 3 next week Tuesday.
Subscribe, like, follow, all of that. Do all of that, and we'll see y'all guys next week.
We out.